All right, hello, welcome trader. Hey, it is August 11th, Monday, and back on the air. I feel like I haven't been on a lot lately. Just lots of stuff going on. So all good stuff. Markets are doing good. Accounts are doing great. There's a lot of family stuff and things going on. Had some birthdays last week, and I feel like we had like 4 days worth of straight birthday celebrations and stuff in the evenings and weekends and lots of good stuff. My voice is going a little bit. I think I have some damaged vocal cords as well. So trying to give them a little bit of a rest. But hey, I want to get back on the swing of things and get a bunch of videos out to you because lots of good stuff is happening. And I think it's opportunity right now to put some trades on. I'm going to give you 5 trade ideas, maybe 7, 8, 10, who knows, by the time we're done. So let's get back into the swing of things. We're going to jump into some charts early on. I'm going to cover some trade opportunities and setups that I think are really, really, really good. We can take a look at our accounts and see how the accounts are doing. In fact, let's do that first. Let me jump in, show you how my account's doing. I like to share my P&L with you. You get to see my ups, my downs, whatever it is. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And if it makes any sense for you to get some ideas from it, great. Not here to give you financial advice at all. Okay, this is for totally educational purposes only, maybe a little bit of entertainment, who knows? But I'm just showing what I'm doing. And if something resonates with you, great. I think there's great opportunities out there. I think you can always learn, whether it's from me or somebody else out there. But you got to find people that I think have like and similar thoughts to you and lifestyles. And frankly, I don't want to be that busy. Okay? I don't want to be day trading all day long and be on and off. Now, I do like my zero DTEs, which are doing really, really well, but don't do it every day. Do it a handful of times a week. But really, I'm sticking to the bread and butter trades. The 112C, number one trade. That trade's doing fantastic all year. My Strangles been doing great. And the poor man covered calls, the income poor man covered calls that I do, doing great. So a couple other things sprinkled in there. I'll show you some trades I put on today. Added some new trades. We'll see. If you like it, great. Let's just jump into it. In fact, the first thing is let's take a quick look at the accounts. And here's my account. So I don't know that I've actually been on for a while. So here's how we are doing. For the month, we're up about 1.5, almost 1.6%. Up for the month, which is good. Last month we were up 6.32%. The month before we were up almost 12%. The month before we were up 9%. So lots of really good stuff happening in the accounts. I don't know what that is, 30% or something in 3 months. It's all good. Uh, but that's not the reason for this. I just want to go through the account. So we ended today at Delta 532. Now, my Delta in my portfolio, I like to keep it around 0.2% of my net lick or less. And you can see here, going back weeks and a month or so, it's pretty much always there. I'm a pretty Delta neutral guy. The 112 trade's a pretty Delta neutral trade. Strangles are obviously a Delta neutral trade. And even the income poor man covered call is a pretty Delta neutral trade. Yes, you own long leap options or synthetic stock, but then you're writing covered calls against it. And for me, I'm writing either at the money, slightly in the money, covered calls. So it's keeping the strategy pretty delta neutral, which is fine with me. It's slightly positive. We get positive drift. Life is good. All right, keep moving on. My theta, I'd like to see it around 0.4%. I'm at 0.33% of my net lick right now. That's fine. Nothing to do there, nothing to worry about with my theta. It's plenty of theta, 1,100 bucks a day. Pretty consistent for the most part. Sometimes it drops when the market's moving up or I'm rolling, but for the most part, I have a tendency to really keep it there. In fact, for what's on the screen here, if we just look at the average from all of these, the average is about 1180 and I'm at 1123. So I'm pretty much right at my normal theta average, which is totally fine with me. And then I don't show it on here. I don't track it on here, but I do watch it, and my Vega is negative 1100. Okay, so my Vega and my Theta are almost always equal. It's 1 to 1. It used to be higher. Okay. Now it's not. Now it's pretty much an even 1 to 1, which keeps my portfolio a lot more resilient and safe in the event of, vol spikes, market drops, what have you. I'm pretty happy with exactly where we are. So having my Theta and my Vega equal each other, okay, is a pretty good setup. Net lick is up to 339,927. Had a whopping $220 day today. That's all good. We're up for the month now. What about a little over 5,257 bucks here that you can see. So that's fine. You will see that some of my daily losses are on here, some daily wins on here. Most of the losses are all due, and these are all my closed trades, but almost all of my losses are due to rolling in the money covered calls. If the market keeps going up, your calls are going to go into money. It's all good. I get my extrinsic out of it. My underlyings keep going up. They're increasing the leaps in value, and I'm still getting my extrinsic out. I'm pretty happy with what's happening, and you can see the account's just growing bigger, averaging around 8-9% a month right now for the last 3 months. So pretty good. But you can see there's a lot of covered calls. A lot of them do end up in the money a bit here as I roll. You can see a lot of zero DTE, 200, 540, 200, 560. This was a loss, so we did have a loss. First one in, I think, a couple months. And then another 580 winner there. So overall, doing really, really well on zero DTE, 560, 620, on and on and on. So zero DTE does great. I also was able to close a 112 here on gold for a nice 1,200 bucks. There, I had a Jade Lizard on gold also come off for 75% winner. I had a Strangle on bonds come off for a nice winner. I closed it a little bit early. And then I also had, that's a poor man's covered call. I think that's what the rest are on here. So anyway, you get a sense of what's happening. So I really don't mind some of these daily realized losses as I roll some of the covered calls up a bit. So it's all good because keep storing value, keep creating value on those leaps, and those leaps are up. And we're going to go through every single one of these with you today. So there you go. If you want to see the small account too, there's the small account. We're up to 24,811 today. Delta is pretty delta neutral because these are all income poor man covered calls, which are very delta neutral trades. We can get a little higher, but for the most part, pretty delta neutral. Decent theta. But the theta, I've got long theta on the leaps, and I got short theta on the covered calls, kind of offset. So it's not a big theta portfolio, but you can see this thing is doing great. In fact, we're up 30.2% for the year so far. S&P is up 8.7. We're up 30.2%. We were up 10% last month, 28% the month before. We're up almost 1% for this month already in a week, which is more along the lines of what we expect to be. But the small account's doing just great as well. All right, let's get into some stocks and take a look at some of the charts that we see out there. And again, apologize for my voice. Best I can do. I think my vocal cords are damaged. Too much talking. Yeah, let me get off the screen too, so you can see everything. All right, let's jump in here. And before I jump into some of the stocks, let's just take a look at the markets. ES futures down a little bit today, 0.2%, not a big deal. Had a nice little pullback, bounced off the bottom of the Bollinger Band, back up through the 21 and the 8 EMAs, which is this blue line here on the daily. 8 above the 21, good bullish sign on the above the 50, all bullish stacked. Over here on the weekly, just keeps bouncing on the 8, bouncing on the 8, bouncing on the 8, taking off from there. At some point we'll break through it. and we'll come down and test maybe something else. But 8 above the 21, above the 50, all widening, getting bigger. Things look pretty doggone bullish here. Am I trading ES? Well, I'll go through it with members tomorrow, but 112 trades have been perfect in this environment. Uh, and if you can add some discretionary ones on pullbacks, I think it's even better. Right now things look pretty doggone bullish, and we're well over most support levels here. If we do get a pullback, I'd probably be looking for, even around this 50-day moving average, the 60 to 40 level as it's been support. We'll see. Things look good. Stair stepping higher. Nothing to fear. Let's take a look at oil. Oil had a rough week or two, last week, the week before. It's come down. I've got a support level down here that you guys can see, right around this 64 level. And yeah, oil kind of ended up on it here on Friday, broke down below today, came right back up to that level. So that's definitely a level of support that I'll be watching. But I think this sets up really well for potentially some strangle opportunities. You got you're very close to the 50 and the 21. Uh, it is still a bearish trade. I think the 112 is also a good trade in here where you can potentially catch some trap down below. We're getting a little bit more and more, they're not oversold. We are in the stochastic momentum, but it's not a terrible spot in here, but I really like this area to be selling like 112s, but we also have a strangle on. I've got a 18-day strangle up 21%, and I got a 112 up 50%, 48%, sorry, in 13 days. So all good. Like what we see here on oil, I'm fine with where oil is. Kind of bullish here with the bullish PSAR, even though 8 below the 21, below the 50, 8 below the 21, right at the 50, below the 200. Things are still bearish overall, but not decidedly. So I think you can just play neutral trades in here. All right, gold. Gold was getting a little bit overdone, but it did have this nice ascending triangle breakout here a couple of days ago. We did get long on that move, a little indecisive candle here on Friday, and then a reversal today. But I don't think it was a technical reversal. Just more on some of the things coming out of the White House. I think this is an opportunity, okay, on gold coming back down to the 21 EMA, looking at the weekly 8 above the 21, above the 50. I mean, everything looks fantastic from a weekly standpoint. It's been a buy the dip on gold, just like ES has been a buy the dip, even though they've been shallow. I think every time you come down to the 21, or even if you come down to the 50, it's an opportunity, or even this uptrending line that goes back a ways. I like gold. We're in a 112 on gold here. That one's down a couple $100 based on today's move, which was a pretty strong down move. We'll see. If gold, where does it find some support? Could be a variety of areas. Normally, we don't look at these trend lines as support, but it could be. If not, I think we find, maybe some support down around this level that we've previously one, two, three times before, right around 3,300 or so, which is the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And if we come back down here, I will absolutely get long more gold if we can get that pullback. Love gold. All right, bonds. The gift that keeps on giving. If you're in bonds, I think this is just great. Okay, this has been just a perfect strangle opportunity almost all year long, with the exception of one little rally up and then quickly drop back in the next week. Just perfect strangles. Top of the channel, bottom of the channel, top of the channel. Okay, who knows where we're going? I think it sets up great as a strangle. I also like the long play on bonds on any pullbacks here. So I think this recent pullback, 8 still above the 21, but maybe we'll bounce off this 21 or even the 8. Okay. But on the long term, okay, keep an eye, and this is a theme for today, the 8 and 21 moving average. So that's today's theme, right? Look what's about to happen on the weekly. The 8 is about to break up through the 21 on bonds. Could be a pretty nice bullish sign. And if we're looking down here, MACD rising, RSI has been rising on this. Stochastic momentum is rising on the weekly. The daily, yeah, there's some ups, some downs. Overall, 8 is above the 21's above the 50. All that stuff is good. Hit the top of the Bollinger Band, pulled back. I got in today on a naked put. So I simply sold naked put on bonds this morning. I'll show you that later. We're up 21% in 6 hours, something like that. All right, let's keep going. We'll skip NASDAQ because that's the same as the S&P. RTY, I think this is a beautiful triangle setup. Just continues to be a great triangle setup in here. Not bullish at all. 8 and 21, pretty much tied here. 8 is above the 21 and above the 50. So overall, somewhat bullish. And we did have the 821 cross back here. And that's been a good sign to get bullish. If you got in right on the cross, you were up a bit on the weekly. And again, that's what we'll be looking at. Let's skip the rest of futures, get into some stocks here. Amazon, there's a gap to fill above. And look, we were halfway through that, more than halfway through the gap, gave back a couple days. I like it. I like Amazon here. Okay. If you're looking at the weekly, the 8 is above the 21. Nice bullish move here, and you've been higher since then. But look at the daily. The 8 broke below the 21, so we have a short-term bearish signal on. So why rush? Let's wait until this thing turns and matches this thing, and we've filled this gap. No sense to rush right now on Amazon. I think you'll get your chance. And any kind of a repair move from here on Amazon, I think this will be the opportunity very soon to get long. So stay tuned. We ain't there yet. Right? Everything's bullish on Nvidia. No trades, overdone to the upside. Hood, we own it. We're up a bazillion, so that's great. I'm not doing anything, not selling out of it, not doing anything in here except just owning it. I am writing some calls against it, getting some extra money as well. We're getting to an overbought level on RSI, but we're at new highs, and RSI is not at the same highs it was here. A little divergence, maybe a little RSI divergence on both the daily and the weekly. Doesn't mean it's running out. I love the company. Fantastic stuff ahead. Ooh, down significantly in the after hours tonight. If we can get a pullback significantly down here, maybe right around the 100 mark, I will be long again. Palantir, overbought, overdone, nothing to do. Tesla. So Tesla, you've got back here, the 8 broke above the 21, and it's stayed that way now for a while. We really haven't seen a big up move, but we've been kind of holding positive to neutral in here. We just saw the 8 break the 21 here on the daily. Great sign. RSI climbing, stochastic momentum climbing, MACD climbing. We triggered a bullish PSAR yesterday, or Friday, I should say. We're about to see some breaks of the 200-day moving average, which that's been a little bit tricky to get those moving averages above that. I like the way Tesla looks here. I think you now have an opportunity on Tesla to make some plays. I like Tesla. We actually went long with a synthetic stock with a protective put play today in the investing account. Right? So I like Tesla. I like it here. Right? Meta consolidating up here as a gap to fill below. I love the stock. I think it's going to do great. A bit of a pennant forming. which is fairly bullish. So we could see a bullish break to the upside on Meta. All systems look pretty decent overall. 8 above the 21, getting wider, bouncing off the 8. I like Meta. Right? Apple, that thing really triggered the 8 through the 21 back here. It's been on a tear since. It also happened over here on the weekly last week, and things have been moving higher. Google, same type, the 8 broke the 21 way back here, and it's had a monstrous run since then. So we've run up all the way from 171 to 200. So a good run there, a little overbought. Yeah, let's see if this thing chills out a bit. But this channel just continues to hold up and down on this channel. We've just stayed in this rising channel the whole time. A little bit of support back here. We'll see if we even get to that level of support. I wouldn't get long yet for me. Okay. Microsoft, nice pullback, maybe giving you some opportunity. Okay, a little early. Costco, though, loving Costco. We're in this thing. Yeah, we took a little bit of heat here and we made it all back up already on Costco. And this thing looks defined. I don't know why in the world it struggled so much, but the bounce off the trend line, this thing looks pretty good overall. 8 breaking the 21, good bullish sign. The 8's been below the 21 since here, so technically probably could have stayed out for this whole move, and now you want to get in. Okay, so it's only trending. If you're not trending like this sideways, the 8 and 21 don't do much. But if you get some reversal areas, I like it. I think it's a good opportunity. I like Costco. HIMS, you got the 8 crossing below the 21. So right now it's a bearish sign. Nothing. I wouldn't touch HIMS for a while. Okay. JP Morgan, you're about to get that crossover here. It's a little sideways, so maybe we ignore it, but I don't think I would get in. AMD has been a great signal since the 8 broke the 21. Way back here on April 30th, and it's climbed up ever since. That was your signal to get in. SoFi, same thing, happened here, April 24th, had a great move, continues to see the 8 above the 21. A little narrowing and now kind of just holding its move. I like it. All right, a couple stocks. So Uber. Uber is getting close. The 8 should break the 21 in the next couple days, potentially. On the daily, at least. Okay. MACD, rising. Okay, so MACD's rising, RSI's rising, stochastic momentum's rising, all on the daily. I like Uber here. I think this is an opportunity on Uber. So that's stock number 1 for me is Uber. Doesn't mean it's the only stock, but Costco. Okay. Also the 8 crossing the 21. So this is one stock I really like here. It's Costco. Tesla was the other one where the 8's breaking the 21. So I love Tesla here. Okay. Again, everything is in gear. MACD, stochastic momentum, RSI, all rising, weekly, daily breakout of the symmetrical triangle, bullish PSR. So Tesla is one, Costco the next, Uber the next. So there's 3 stocks for you right there. And let's throw in number 4. You're about to potentially get the crossover. You haven't gotten it yet, so it's a tad early. But we are about to see something similar happening here on the daily chart. And weekly still looks decent, but we've had a nice pullback to the 21 on the weekly. Perfect. And then maybe we'll see the bounce here. This thing could be on its way to potentially some new highs. Everything stacked, ready to go. I love this move. Let's get the 8 above the 21 and see this thing going. But I actually jumped the gun today, and I did get long Netflix on a synthetic stock with a protective put in the investing account. So I did that on Tesla a couple days ago, and then Netflix today. And then my last stock was Berkshire No Bueno. Uh, Nothing here to see. Boeing getting close to a negative cross on this. Nothing to do here. ARM, nothing to do yet. Uh, but let's go to Micron. Micron, you're getting the 8, breaking the 21 here. Okay, big move today. Okay, nice looking weekly chart. Okay, and I mean we do have a gap down here to fill, but we'll ignore that for now. Okay, a lot of gaps below. We got gaps above, gaps all over the place. Okay, Micron looks fantastic. MACD, RSI, stochastic momentum, weekly, daily crossovers here. Bullish views are Micron looks fantastic. Okay, so there's my 3 main breaks: Costco, Micron, Tesla. Those have already broken. Uber, Netflix about to make the break. And then I'll give you 3 more today, and we got to move. Okay. And I don't even track this stock, so it's not part of my watch list, so I won't trade it. Okay. But T-Mobile, okay, you got the cross back here. Okay. But what I on the daily, so things have been really nicely bullish here on the daily. But what I want to pull uh, your attention to is the weekly. You're getting the weekly cross here, and that can be a substantial long-term move higher. So I think we could be seeing, again, a bit of a cup and handle on the weekly. At least there's your cup. Okay, back up to the support. Okay, you maybe have the cup here, and this was our handle. We could really be in a move on T-Mobile right here. The weekly looks really good. I think long term, not a bad play overall. Um, okay, we don't want to check BRT. CME off and running. CBOE off and running. Nothing to do there. AppLovin, nothing to do. Nebius, nothing to do here yet. Nothing to do on Shop. Nothing to do on Oscar Health. Though Oscar Health, you're about to get the 821 break, but it's not really, maybe you're getting, well, let's see how it happens. But you could get the break on the weekly and the daily on any move above this resistance level. We tried today, it failed. Previous support acting as resistance now. If we can get above this on Oscar Health, I think this thing could be off and running to the races. We're not there at all on United Health, but I do like this opportunity down here. And let me give you my last 2. Lows. Okay, and I want you to look at the weekly, not the dailies, but look at this weekly. The 8 about to break the 21 since we did it back here in February and had this long protracted downtrend. The base, nice base, potentially a double bottom, breaking the neckline here. Lows could be in good shape on this double bottom break, potentially even like a head and shoulders break of the neckline here. Could be off and running on lows. And then lastly, Pepsi. Okay, so looking at Pepsi, again, it's a weekly 821 break. This also looks like a nice long base. Okay, here, and then finally some breakouts starting to happen on this thing. We had the break here, which was early, but now things look pretty stable. I think this is not a bad spot on Pepsi. Things look pretty good overall. All right, so there's where we are. Really quickly, Bitcoin. Also, it's kind of not trending, so I can't really call the break of the 8 over the 21, but the 8 is ahead of the 21 now, and now we're moving higher. Overall, things look pretty stacked. I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin here. I play it through IBIT, so we'll play that IBIT break as well to the upside. I'm also going to be using MicroStrategy in here. I like where we are on all of those. Ethereum doing well, moving to the upside. If you want to play it, ETHA is the way to play this thing. Getting overdone, so I don't think it's an entry for now for me. All right, last couple things briefly. I mean, that's the charts. Like Gifts gave you a ton of trade opportunities, so you can see those. And then in my account, all systems are go. Man, I love my oil 112, my oil strangle. We already talked about those earlier. We've got naked puts of a 112C here. They're at 88%, so they should close any day now. Here's some at 70%. Those should close. You got lots of put debit spreads on for nice, a little bit of hedging opportunities there. And then I've also got another naked put here up 18%. And then my last one that I just put on today, down 24 bucks. And then there's a 120 day that's up almost 30% already. So doing great with ES. Gold, yeah, we're down 200 bucks, 250, 280 bucks, as I mentioned on this one. We're not in any issues here. Here's the strangle from today, up 20% in bonds. Loving that. And then let's go and just take a quick look. You can see we're doing really, really well on most of these poor man covered calls. I want to show you how each of these is faring. So it's a longer video today, but I haven't been on in a while, so hopefully I get a little leeway from you guys, but if not, it's all good. You tune in for what you want, you tune out if you don't like it. So it's all good. All right, so let's take a look at SPY. Current value of my SPY shares, 78,486. So this thing's up 41% in 186 days so far in the trade. Not too shabby. Okay, we'll take that 41% in 6 months. Okay, not too bad. Weathered the downturn as well, and we're doing just great. All right, the Qs. This is a little bit shorter trade, 113 days. Current value on this one, on the Qs, 24,161. Yeah, we're sitting at 47% winner in 113 days. Totally fine on the Qs. Nothing to do there. We keep making our extrinsic value. So they won't all be up, but most of them are doing pretty well. MicroStrategy, current value on MicroStrategy, 33,450. So this thing's up 33% in 70 days, winning on the longs, generating great covered call premium. Loving this trade, 33%. IBIT, let's enter the current value of this, 28,650. Okay, it's up 35% in 62 days. So again, time and trade. Okay, you can't look at these week to week, day to day. I don't even care what they're doing week to week. What I want is once I've been in these 2, 3, 4, 5 months, then we'll start paying some attention. But you get swings up and down. Can't look at them day to day. All right, and then GLD. This is our newest baby. We've only been in this for 2 weeks. Obviously, this would have dropped today. 6492. Okay. We're down 30% on this one. So we're down 2,200 bucks. It's early. We'll be totally fine in this. Again, you can't look at something when it's only been on for a couple weeks. So overall, really, really good stuff. You know, the total income from these trades, 41,881 in just under 6 months on all of these. So I'll take 41,881, and we've spent $122,000 on these trades total. So $122,000 in trade is what we spent. Okay. And we're up 42,000. So 42 divided by 122. Okay. Yeah, about 34% on average. Not too shabby. Yeah. I'll take those trades, and gives you a sense of what they all look like here. All right, so there's our plays. That's what we're looking at. That's how things are working so far. For us, I'm pretty happy with everything that we got going. So I'll stop sharing there. Hope you got a lot out of this. Good to be back on the air with you guys. If you like this video, click the like button down below. Give me the thumbs up. Share the trade. Get the word out. Hey, you know what? If you like it, great. If you don't, ignore it. You don't have to comment. You don't do anything. Just ignore it and go your own way. If you don't get the trades, it's okay. You don't have to understand everything. Okay, don't do them. Okay, don't do anything until you understand it inside and out. You've back tested it upside down, and you feel confident. Then jump in if you want to do that. If you got some ideas, let me know. If you don't understand it, I get it. Jump on in the Discord, learn it, understand. It takes a while for people to understand these income poor man covered calls. It is not intuitive to people. You're used to people doing standard poor man covered calls, selling out of the money out there. I get it. That's not the trade. I do use that trade in a totally different account. Not here. Not what I do. Not why we're doing it. But we're doing phenomenal on these stocks with it. So hopefully you got something out of this thing. We'll see you guys later. Enjoy a great rest of your day. Bye bye.